Hey everybody. Okay, so we are back and we are going to do our little more play testing. I'm not going to say troubleshooting, but kind of troubleshooting. Basically something, a little QAing. Okay, we're going to play a little QA role here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do new game. Start a new game. That's going to kick into the LSD New Game Customizer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make some options, some choices, and we're going to try to make some choices matching what we did the very first time, except we're going to leave the ship as the frontier. So basically what we're doing is we're working on the premise that, let's go assault, and this isn't necessarily the same. Let's see. Frontier tire. Full set. Oh, we decided to go assault. Wait, is there? Recon. Okay. We'll come back here. Weapons. Primary weapon. We're gonna start with the Kadama. Location. We are gonna go slums of Sidonia. Okay. Inventory. We're gonna go Revate, right? Cutter, med packs, sufficiently provisioned, credits, paycheck to paycheck, experience. This is not my first rodeo. Yet. All right. Okay. All right. And then face. There we go. Hair. All right. All right. And color is good. Okay. There we go. Eyebrows are fine. Okay. There we go. Much better. Yeah, much better. It's like you say to yourself, it's just gonna be a quick, in and out procedure, right? And then next thing you know, you're like, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. All right, so background. Mm, mm. And then traits. Gonna be ship technician, um, strong back, and actually steadfast. All right, and um, okay, okay. We changed everything but the ship. Okay. All right. Well, okay. We'll get a notice. Level 10. All right. Ships have all been. All right. First things first. Inventory. All right. So let's get in here. We'll hit that. And that's a better suit. Okay. And then. So I think it's interesting what they're doing is you still get probably the base suit, and then you get the additional suit that you select, basically. Okay. Okay. I don't think we can select anything else here. We're gonna have the hunting perk because of our time in Londinium. And then this one, so we can fly ships, and then so we can use boost packs. Okay.
Not gonna be able to get that image out of my head for a while.
All right.
She thinks you have to live in the moment.
Mars isn't for everybody.
Nope, Mars is not. And if I could figure out how to get out of here, I would. All right, so trade authority, everything.
Not easy living in Sidonia.
No, it's not. Here's my girl.
Estonia can
What
have
do you mean there's
depressing
no
effects
luck?
on some people.
Yeah, do you have a
Shuttle service. How much money we got? Ooh, 37K. Not bad. Not bad, but we got to remember everything is way priced way higher. Now, we selected not to have a ship, or we didn't select a ship, but we did select to have the Rev 8. So that may have impact things, but we'll see.
Suppose that would explain the brownouts. So, what's this going to run? There are no other surprises. Bid 5 figures. 5 figures? 5? Fine. Do it.
I wonder what these things. Oh, I don't need this. There we go. Just up in the air. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, guys? All right, that was. So come over here. Do you see that? I can't even select ship. So even though we have, even though we went with even though, oh shoot. All right. Hey, bro.
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every
I like to
couple
view and
weeks.
modify
Sure,
my
have at
ships.
it.
You seeing what I'm seeing? Let's see what you have for
Sure
sale.
you can find something you like?
I'm having a little trouble. I'm having a little trouble finding what I like. They're all like extremely stealth ships. All right, we're gonna test something real quick here.
Hey, what can I do for you?
I want to purchase a vehicle.
No problem.
Purchase. Huh? All right. Thank you. I just want to see. Mm. All right, we did leave ourselves some money. Okay, nothing. Could it be Sidonia is the one that's jacked? That they just don't know how to put a ship out on Sidonia? Because their ship was available in Aquila.
Ever been to Aquila?
Yeah, many a times. All right, I'm not changing the price because. All right, we should get a message to go catch our shuttle, but we did not. We have not. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to change the ship and we're going to try to land and we're going to put ourselves in Aquila. All right. Start a new game. Now I deleted Cam because, again, with Xbox, you're limited to the number of saves. And I know at one point I had gotten to the point where it was like, hey, you've got too much going on here. You need to remove some stuff. Not going to be able to save this if you keep down this path or something. I don't know what it was saying. Just let me know that I had too many characters. Okay, so we're going to go minor. Spacesuit. Yeah, we can go minor. Clothes. We're going to go Neo City. Weapons. Primary. Equinox. Now, generally, you kind of wanted to stay the same way, but because you want to stay the same. So, slums of Aquila City, inventory, credits, paycheck to paycheck, med packs, sufficiently provisioned, Rev 8, and location. Oh, we already did location. Experience. It's not my first rodeo. Spaceship. All right, so we're gonna change this, and then we're gonna go the Wendigo, and boom. Yep, we're ready. Okay. Oh, dang. It's the eyes for the women. Oops. All right. Long hauler. Ship technician. Space hauler and strongback. Hold on one sec. All right. Mm-hmm. God dang it. Mm-hmm. That's the button I wanted. Right there. All right. Boom. Let's get this started. This one takes a little bit longer to load. Long haulers workwear. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, heck yeah, we're going to go with that. 40 carry weight. Mechanized. Mm-hmm. We have 37,000 credits. That's what you're pretty much going to start with day to day if you're living paycheck to paycheck. All right. Weapons wise, we toted the Equinox and the Eon. All right. Look at this. Look at this. Ship. There's our ship. It is Sidonia. Now, ain't that some ish? that oh, ain't that something? This is funny though. This drops on you every time you spawn. All right. Just this is the OCD part of me that has to get this all set if I'm gonna. Doesn't even matter if I'm going to play this character. Just everything has to be set, or stay standing. It's somewhere. There it is. All right. Hold on a sec. Okay, where am I? All right, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Problem with the company is you always have to perform. And I don't mean work, I mean it's a performance.
Why am I running so slow? Did we know why that is? Why is my movement so slow? See, like you start off and it looks like you're about to sprint, and then all of a sudden, boom. It's like, watch this. See, boom, boom, boom. And then I think there's a setting, and I think the setting is readjust where normally you probably would. All right, let's see. So let me show you what I would normally do. I don't want the axe, and then since I have 37K, I know. But okay. All right. Now, what that did for me was this. You can see now I have almost 14 kilos in resources. But this is what it gave me.
Paul, I have a note from Bailey here.
2 crates aluminum. Signed Bailey. Not one for paperwork, is he?
You're lucky you got that much.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's worth 55 credits. There's another.
Don't even think about leaving the city. Ashta out there, and they are no joke. You've been warned. Problem?
Yeah. If I want to leave the city, I'll leave the city. Ashta or no.
So we're gonna have a house, Mom? That's what Mr. Tate is working on. We'll have to move out when construction.
Am I so slow because I just haven't earned all that I need to in order to be faster? Or is that because of the mod that tries to even out your character? You know how you how they walk a certain speed, and it's trying to match your character's speed with them. But I think the problem is it just comes across as you're just as slow as molasses, and it feels more like you're running in place. So the question is, wouldn't it just be better to speed everyone else up? What would be great if there was like a walk or run. There's a walk, jog, and run toggle type thing, you know? But that's too many clicks. Hmm. Interesting.
I've been helping out my mom with doctor stuff. It's hard sometimes, but I kind of like it.
Okay.
Mom says I should learn doctoring like her, but I'd rather fly my own starship.
Really? Whoa. Who are you? Oh, you're just a citizen. Okay. So I'm avoiding the downtown part of the city.
37.
The building there needs work, but it could make for a very good home.
Any paperwork we need to file to clear it out? Is it zoned for commercial use?
This isn't the UC. As long as you are
Used to be an
courteous to the
actuary.
neighbors,
Now look
do what you like.
We're still waiting on the loan from Galbank.
I must warn you, ma'am, that folk in Aquila are very particular about doing business with the UC.
They see our prices.
So, yeah, one of the things that I am doing
0.5% of nominal.
is avoiding,
Last time it was serviced?
just to avoid the whole Gal Bank robbery. Okay, I don't think I need to go any further here. We know that it works. If I want, technically, I'm not sure where the spaceport is. I think it's right there. But okay. It's gonna crash. All right. One more. We'll see. Oh, what can we do? We'll try a different location. All right. So the fact that it works in Aquila kind of bucks the whole premise about it's the ship that's causing the issue. Because in truth, by going to Aquila, changing the ship, and then doing everything, we modified everything that we could. So now it's just the question, is it just Sidonia that's jacked up? And we do know that the frontier doesn't work in Sidonia either. So we come in here, we'll do full set. We're going to do UC pilot. close. Utility. Weapons, primary. Drumbeat. Spaceship. A narcissist. Location. Mm-hmm. Oh, dang it. Neon underbelly. Okay. Inventory. Credits. Making ends meet. See what that is. Med packs. Fully stocked. Oop. Okay. Experience. Been around the block. That'll start us at level 5. All right. Yeah, we're ready. All right, perfect. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh, that's good. Nice. Yep. We'll leave it. Mm-hmm. That's good. Forehead. That's good. Nose. Yeah, that's good right there. Ears will be fine. Cheeks. That's better. Much better. All right, jaw. Okay, and chin. Okay, much better. Neck. There you go. Much better. All right. Okay. go. All right. Boom. Oh, look at that. Padded prison scrubs. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because we chose that background of being an ex-convict, you gonna put us in scrubs? Level 5. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah, we stole the pilot uniform. Okay. Don't don't judge. We needed a. Are you kidding me? Or how are we not gonna use that? Right? You know? All right. All right. So, boom. What's this one? Okay. Okay. Look at that. And there's our ship. Okay, so what about these is not like the other? Look how much money. Oh, that's how much it's worth. I was like, look how much money we got. Look at how much money we got. 10 times. So 37,000. All right, so we start with 37,000 if we're living paycheck to paycheck. Even less than that, like 3,700 if we're, just whatever tier that is below that. And then I think this one is making ends meet, and we're starting with 370,000. That's an insane amount for an ex-convict. All right. And you, so again, cannot. Cannot help myself. Actually, we're going to leave that on since is the all right. I don't know why I can't help myself, but and then we're increasing. We're increasing the speed. That I will trust me, that will irritate the crap out of me at some point that they're moving so slow. And I don't know what it is right off the bat, right? Is it just that's how it is when they start out, you know? So I gotta be honest with you. It's unfortunate, but it is looking like when so what it looks like to me is so far it's Sidonia, right? And I mean, we picked the same thing though, the slums of Sidonia, but I don't know that the question is it Sidonia itself, whether it's the slums or just Sidonia, the spaceport or whatever? I mean, technically, the next thing to do is to
Yeah, you're gonna love this. Right.
Catherine Luzian keeps demanding we look into her husband's murder. Murder? Yeah, right. Hysterical old broad.
I didn't do it. I'm innocent. So
The syndicate's been
If you
pretty
got any
bold
spare
lately.
creds, I can always take them off your hands.
It'll work itself out.
Hey, Chief, you got any creds you can spare?
here you
Thank
go.
you kindly. You're a class bass, you know that?
Oh, thank
I'll
you.
do my best to someday pay you back. Street's honor. This isn't a donation, it's an investment.
Roger that. All right.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, the one last thing that we should do, because like I said, I'm not gonna create a character for every single planet option, location option, but what we got to do now is see if
Got a bunch of troll for sale.
if it's the planet altogether or if it's the slums. Because right now, both ones that have failed to work have been, we originated in the slums. And then so if we do it and we say, go, the spaceport, Mars spaceport, and that's different and it works, then we know, then we can pretty much say, okay, something's going on with the slums. It's not okay. But there we have it. Actually, you know what's sad is I'm actually kind of wanting to keep playing with this guy. Everything that we set up for it and all that is like, let's see where we can go with this, right? So save and quit. And then if it crashes, then we'll see. All right. give it a chance. If Creations has to pop for us. All right, there we go. Got the music. Start one new game. See if we can do this. And then we got to make sure we pick Mars. Just not the slums. And it's relatively simple and relatively easy for us to notice real quick. What we're going to do, and then I think even in this one, we don't have to change anything. We know that the Frontier and the other ship doesn't work. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick a different ship. Just, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave everything generic, pick a different ship, and pick Mars. And take the spaceport option. And we'll see what happens. And then we can call it a day at that point. Okay. All right, so we're going to pick a different ship. Nope. We got to pick it. Go one more page. Let's go with the Sparrow. I am going to pick it out. I'm going to pick a weapon. I'm too anal that way. Beowulf. All right. Actually, inventory, credits, Scrooge McDuck simulator. Fully stocked. Okay. We're going to do the Rev 8 again. All right, go back. Experience. It's not my first rodeo. Location. All right, so Sidonia Spaceport. Let's just do it. I guess I couldn't help myself. Close. Okay. Create character. Yeah, we're ready. So it's funny. Only thing I'd change about her is nothing. Okay. Minor. Makes sense. All right. And first thing we're going to do, synthetic heart, strong back. And do they have? They do not. Deep breather. That's why she's able to hang out in the mine so long. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Are you curious? I'm kind of curious. So we got Prospector's Breather. Whatever that is. All right. The expansion thing loaded. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Boom. Okay. This is us. No freaking way. You see this. You're seeing this. There's our buggy. Oh, Ramtech. And we are here. 3 million. Is that 37 million? That's 37 million credits he's starting with. That is completely insane. This is us. What is the Prospector's Breather? Oh, rebreather. Now look at it. It says extra capacity, explosive shielding, resort. Oh, shoot. If we were to put that on, only 10. Uh-oh. We're stuck. Why can't we move? Oh, probably because... Okay. Can we move now? We are literally stuck right now. All right. Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Sidonia slums. Hold on one sec. Give me a minute. Okay, so one last test. All right, start a new game. And so we know it doesn't matter what ship you select. Well, it could, but it doesn't, right? So we're going to select the same ship that we did the first time. This one we're just going to make very easy. So spaceship, the very first time ever I saw, what was it? Was it the Rail Star? I think it was the Longsword. Okay. And then we're going to pick, okay, so one of the things, New Atlantis Spaceport, right outside the lodge. Cydonia Spaceport, they're on the first page. Slums of Cydonia, no. Neon Underbelly is on the second page. Slums of Cydonia right now is where we have the issue. Major issue. Aquila Spaceport, Slums of Aquila. So I'm thinking Hopetown. We picked our ship. Nope. Experience first. I want to do that. I've seen some things. Okay, I just want to know where that's going to put us. Inventory credits. We are flat broke. Med packs. Running on fumes. Cutter. We got a vehicle. Our primary. Okay. Apparel. Okay. And then clothes. Okay. All right. Yes, we are ready. Okay. Okay. Let's deal with the intensity here. Yes. Okay, so oh, did I put you in that? No, I did. Okay, well, if that's the case, then all right, more veteran FC. Oh, wait. Go back. Field agent. Black belt. Wait. Let me, before I do it. All right. Let's see. We could go this way, but boom. All right. Black belt, combat trained, strong back. One big, huge family. That's what the Brookses are. All right. I forgot where we were going. I forgot what planet. Hope Town. We're in Hope Town. It's a thinking. Uh-huh. Oh gosh. Man, why did he throw the oh, so level 15. All right. We can purchase. Okay. All right. Exit. Why are you throwing the trash on my head? I'm afraid to turn around. This is what I'm afraid to do. Look at me. All right. Before we do that. And then we don't need to turn around. We can just go in here and check it. Why am I wearing UC stuff when I'm a Freestar guy? Freestar veteran. Look at that. Look at that. I thought we said we were fully stocked. We probably didn't. All right. We got 0 credits. I'm flat broke. Yep. We're robbing some people now. That's the only way we're getting up out of here. Mm-hmm. Another axe is going to do some damage. All right. 28 skill points. Holy schmollies. Mm-hmm. Shotgun, for sure. Don't forget dueling for melee purposes. Incapacitation. Nope. Okay. Persuasion. Okay. Definitely. Pain tolerance. We need 3 more. We'll get second skin eventually. Ouroboros. Life and death are a never-ending cycle, but those with strong enough will can sometimes halt that process. Neural strikes, we probably end up in concealment eventually. I'm going to hold off on the next 2 just for a minute. Not for a minute, but till I figure out exactly what it is we're doing. So this is us. Oh, and look, Trackers Alliance. And there is our ship, the Longsword. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. So right now, the only ones that have failed to work are the ones where we start out in Sidonia slums. Everything else has actually come through like it's supposed to. Not happy about that. Actually, we're high enough level now, so it could just be normal. Look, increased. Boom. Mm-hmm. Okay, the recycler. Nope. Mm-hmm. 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 Turn off. Enable. Okay. I mean, technically, it doesn't matter. You have to do the Andrasia quest first. Quest line. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Let's see. Oop, oop. Boom. Yep. All right. And might as well. If you're gonna fly, you gotta pay. Realistic. We leave those alone. Cost of spacing. Real fuel. Tiny reasons to explore. Yep. Mm-hmm. Uncommon. Okay. We want. Nope. We're gonna leave normal. This is fine. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So this is our girl. I should get it. I should have taken that mod. Delayed Trackers Alliance. It's actually kind of annoying. So, real quick here.
Hey, what can I do for you?
Not much, man. Not much right now. Okay, so Dark Star game overhaul puts a guy here and on Gagarin. Okay. Thing is, it's so that's all of it. All of that is DGO. I'm gonna call it DGO, Dark Star game overall. DSA is Dark Star Astrodynamics. Has a guy on what's that place? In Wolf the Den. And then I think there's another person somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I haven't had cause to visit that person. Usually I just shoot straight over to the den. So there's an office, supposedly, unless I didn't put it on here. It's the Prax Dilemma. I don't know if I got it on this one, on Xbox, because it is a paid mod, so paying extra, to double down on the mods are not the best idea. So, when you go see the ship technician for Dark Star game overhaul for DGO, everything's locked behind, behind pretty much the things that I want to do or want. And I'm going to put another one there. So the things that I want are locked behind starship design and payloads. And also, I believe this one over here, special projects. I could be wrong about that one. But so everything is kind of locked down until you get like 2 tiers or even 3 in some cases for some things into it. Dark Star Astrodynamics didn't have that same requirement. So when I first started using Dark Star Astrodynamics, when that came out, and I think that was almost a year ago, it allowed you to do certain things, modify your ship, add discrete cargo and all those kind of things to your ship, and that you didn't have to it wasn't locked behind anything. You just had to have the money, right? And like for discrete cargo, you needed the actual cargo module and a fuel plate to put the module onto your ship, and that meant you needed to have a flat surface to accept the plate. So, and then what that means is if you look at the main gun in the middle there, right, the cannon, it's on a plate, but that's probably equipment plate and not a fuel plate. The cargo module requires a fuel plate to put it on. So the fuel plate is 10 grand, and then the module itself is 10 grand. So for each one you want to add is 20 grand. And that would add and each one that you, like when you add 60 fuel and you add 1,000 cargo to your ship, right? And it's shielded cargo at that. And then DGO cuts it in half, right? And then the price is half too, though. And you can't put it on unless you have 2 into payloads, your 2 tiers into payloads, and I believe 3 tiers into special projects. So imagine how long you have to play and how much you have to do to build up one special projects, and the other one is to get 2 tiers into payloads. That's 25 jumps with your cargo at about 75 capacity to get up there, roughly. So I was like, whoa. So it made it late game stuff as opposed to, anything you could do early game. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, one of the biggest gripes that you have is, a lot of folks would have is, especially with the economy, right? If you talk about the economy, the first thing and the biggest thing that people gripe about is, well, it's too easy, the economy, because if you go out and you loot a station or whatever and you come back to sell, like this guy here, the value of it is 21K. You could probably sell it for about 4 or 5K. And it's like, so you just got to go out and kill about 10 spacers and you can make 40, 50 grand off of their, off of their loot. You just bring it home and then boom. And then you can significantly upgrade your ship. Now, all of a sudden you got a significantly upgraded ship, and it didn't really take you that long or require that much. So one of the things that a lot of these economy mods do that I really don't like is that they nerf the sell prices. They don't nerf the value of the actual items, right? So they don't change the actual value of the suit. But if you go to sell it, and then case in point will be right. So right here, I can go to Dark Star Services and then I can sell. That suit says it's going to sell for $2,600. That's not a bad price. I mean, in truth, that's not a bad price. I legitimately could, say, well, yeah, I can accept that. So that's the issue there. When you want to find like, there's certain economy mods that I've tried, and you wouldn't get that much for a suit, and that to me is the problem. And for me, it's like, well, you're breaking my immersion, right? I can understand you don't want me to get 4K for a suit, but if I'm going to sell the suit, and I'm selling it kind of discount, I should get a quarter of that. So okay, I won't get 4K, but I should get at least 1K. I shouldn't be selling it for 200 credits. And in some of the mods, that's what they did, and that to me that doesn't make sense. And if anything, that should really break your immersion, and it's like you're trying to overthink and over nerf something, basically cut the price of it down to the point where it's like, yeah, you can't make any money off of this. Well, guess what? Yeah, I might not be able to make any money off of it, but you're not selling it at a price that makes sense. You're not selling it for what makes sense to me. And that is unfortunate. So it's like, can we figure out, a better compromise? So, I mean, like, so in the example there, if a suit was going to sell for 4K normally, right? All right, I'm okay with you cutting it to 1/4. Okay, 4K, 1K, 8K, 2K, right? 2K 500. If it was going to sell for 1,000, all right, 250. You know, if it was going to sell for 600, I'm still getting 150 for it. That I can understand and be okay with. You know, but I mean, literally, with a couple of these mods, you were going to sell your suit for, you know, not even 100 credits. And then I'm like, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a spacesuit worth less than 100 credits. That didn't make sense to me. Hey, why? I don't know. Why are you over here complaining to me? You don't know me.
Stella, deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
You don't look like things are going too well for you.
I'm just great.
Really?
Grand, really.
Mm.
When I signed on to be a freight captain,
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting long hours and dull routes.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm a hair away from being executed, or worse.
Okay. Look, I'm a captain too. We captains need to stick together.
You are sincerely the answer to my prayers.
Well, you're jumping the gun there.
I fly a rust bucket called the Markab for a small shipping line.
Okay.
Just started, really. We do bulk shipping, boring stuff like actuators and seed stock and minerals. Have you ever had a standard boring job just blow up in your face?
Something going wrong? Nah, that never happens to me. You know, I look at situations like that as opportunities. Opportunities to be better.
That's not helpful.
Well, this is an opportunity for you.
I just got assigned to the Markab. The first shipment, slag steel. Nothing special. As soon as I left Neon and got scanned, things got crazy. Spacers, Freestar security, the works. Everyone demanding I power down, hand over the contraband, or sometimes just firing first. I skipped the system, ditched the cargo, and have been running ever since.
All right. So what were you actually shipping?
I don't know. I was just flying for my life. But some bad people want it.
All right, that's terrible.
It gets even worse. A tracker just landed, and I just know he's hunting a bounty. Me. But the trick is, everyone knows the ship. But my info isn't in the database yet. All they got is my last name, Fahim. So if you go into the pit stop and claim you're Captain Fahim of the Markab, maybe you can deal with the tracker?
What were you thinking I'm going to do to this tracker? And how am I supposed to deal with the tracker?
I don't know. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
But that's what you're sending me in to do, aren't you? How do they only know your name?
The company is, well, a real train wreck. I'm amazed they even have my last name on file.
And you chose to work for them.
Such a dump is a good thing.
Well, I guess I'm Captain Fahim then.
You are the best. This slate has everything they know about me. It's not much. He's the one with the cowboy hat. Just stay safe. Thank you.
All right. And then real quick here, let's see. Did she give us a slate? All right, so Neon pending exception waiver paid in full, and a 30-day exemption granted by Neon Port Authority pending full registration of Captain Unknown Fahim 1309B. All right, let's get over here.
Hey.
What are you up to?
Hey, cowboy.
I'm new in town. You look like you just got here too, right?
Really?
What's your name, stranger? I'd buy you a drink.
What are you doing here?
A little little of this, a little of that.
Very,
I
very
like to
precise. Yeah. Who are you?
Friends call me Ernesto. Actually, everyone does.
Hmm.
'Cause it's my name and all. And you?
Captain Fahim. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll take that drink now.
Fahim, huh? Came in on that ship, the Markup? I bet you didn't know it. But I'm a tracker.
No, I knew it. That's why I came over to talk to you.
Two ways this can go.
Yes.
You know the drill.
Well, actually, there's a few other ways that it could go too. Look, bounty? Why me?
Bounty says you made off with a haul of medical supplies meant for orphans or something.
Really? I look like the type?
If I turn the shipment in sight unseen.
Oh.
Figure they're in the markup.
You don't seem bad, you know? I haven't done anything wrong. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
So you didn't shoot your way off Neon, Fahim? The bounty is pretty damn clear. But something don't sit right with me.
Right?
Not sure what.
Yet you're still here. You know, I don't think Adela really deserves a bounty on her head. Do you? This whole thing just doesn't add up, right? You just said so yourself.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Look, everyone's after this shipment. Whoever hired you is lying.
The bounty is awfully large for what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm not taking you in. But that just means somebody else will.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you were shipping, you got to return it. The next tracker probably won't be as upstanding as I am.
Unfortunately, I jettisoned the cargo.
There's no way they're ever going to settle for that. Sucks to be you. One more drink and it's liftoff.
All right, cowboy.
As vital as spaceships.
This can't be happening. I feel sick.
All right, look. Anything you left out?
I mean, maybe. At my 6th birthday, the theme was unicorns. Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah, very. Very, very. Look, I convinced the tracker to let you go.
I feel like I can finally breathe again.
No, you can't.
Thank you.
Look, you're lucky the tracker was a good guy. They're going to send more.
You think? I mean, of course they will. Oh, God. I don't mean to be ungrateful and all, but I really, really need to go. Thank you.
All right.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
I don't want to hear your bullcrap. Looks like we're kind of even then, doesn't it? I don't want to hear no complaints. I'm about to boot upside your head.
Yes? What?
Mr. Crotchety.
Valuables.
Trying.
Protect your own. You don't belong here.
Hey, Chica.
I'm glad I finally caught up with you.
Me too. I was just thinking
I'm
about
from
you.
the Trackers Alliance.
Right?
We have a proposal for you.
Man, holy cow. A proposal? But we just met.
What? Oh, got it.
Yeah.
You're trying to make a joke.
No, I
Emphasis on
did.
Trying.
Oh.
Yes, it's a proposal. No, not that kind of proposal.
Oh, that's disappointing.
The Trackers Alliance has been following your exploits and believe you have what it takes to join our ranks. You're being invited to our new headquarters in Aquila City. There you'll meet with Agent Number 1. If you decide to consider our offer, they'll guide you through our initiation process.
Got some questions for you. I didn't know there was a Tracker's headquarters on Aquila.
Well, there's a reason for that. It used to be on a remote planet in a remote part of the galaxy. Agent number 1 decided that it would be better if we had more of a public presence. So we purchased the old McCall estate and turned it into our headquarters.
What'd you say your name was?
There will be time for introductions later, assuming you decide to join us. But until then, there's really no need for me to share that information.
Oh, come on. You just proposed, and you don't even think I need to know your name? That's rather rude, in a sense. You know what I mean? I think you know my name. Why should I join? Really?
If you have any inclination of being a bounty hunter, then this is the best deal you're going to get.
I didn't say I had
I'm not
any.
here to convince you. I've just been instructed to deliver the message. Your questions would be best answered by Agent number 1 at the HQ.
I have no more questions.
Okay, then.
I'll consider it.
I suppose we will. I'll be heading out soon if there's nothing more. Remember, Trackers Alliance HQ in Aquila City. Speak to Agent number 1.
Okay. Now that you proposed, should we get a drink? I'm just saying.
Well, we'd be dust, except for the factory.
Need some work done?
I am about slow as molasses. Heaven forbid I really need to run from something. Oh, hey, look, somebody left a sandwich for me. I mean, Rudy Poo's bit of... can I move any slower? I mean, seriously, I'm trying to walk right now. Seriously, I can't walk. I can't run. This is weird. I'm trying to run right now. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Seriously. Are you serious? Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Let's get serious and fall in love. God, dude. Just want to get up to the cockpit. It's taking too long. I could have built a whole new ship by now. What's my carry weight? Oh, now she's decided to move. Let's see if we can take off. Polvo Station. We don't need that. Then we got Polvo. And then you got all kinds of stuff. Hostile warp signatures. Galbank secure transport. I don't know what that means. Star station over here. Well, at least the ships move faster than I walk on board. No! What is this? Deserted Trade Authority Station. You really want to deal with me? You really want to do this? You're thinking that, and I don't blame you for thinking like that. But if you just stayed within my range, here we go. Ooh, we got particle. Oh, shoot. At first I thought I blew you up. Oh, you regretting your decision? Or is it not going to be as easy as you thought? Wait, come back here. Come back here, you little roach. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, shoot. Is this ain't the one. That would be kind of annoying if it is. Can you, like, move? What the frick, man? Did I change a setting that just all of a sudden decided this person is not going to move? Player speed overall is increased. Increased. Greatly increased. 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 We're increasing it all. God. The frick, man. What in the world is going on? All right. Mm-hmm. You better move. Are you kidding me? No. Why is this here? This shouldn't be in. Is it really here? I don't want to do this one anyway. Well, guys, we're gonna come out here. So there it is. So most that we have tried, not most all, most that we have tried will work. Options that will work. And so far, the only options that don't work is when we try to start in the Cydonia slums. And there, it doesn't matter if we decide to change anything or go with a different ship or try to just say, hey, just give us the frontier. So this one is, the problem with this mod is slightly different than what we saw with RN Genesis. And then what we saw with RN Genesis was it didn't matter what start, if you could get it to work, if you could get a start to start you out on basically on Neon and not in a box, right? In a room with no exit. You just never got a ship. And that wasn't okay. Here, so far, the only choices that we make that prevent us from getting a ship is to spawn in the slums of Cydonia. So, not sure why that's happening that way. Why, if you spawn down there, you're not able to, get a starting ship. And it breaks everything. The ship vendors, breaks the shuttle services. So there's nothing you can do. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But guys, hey, thanks for joining me here today to try to do some troubleshooting, try to figure out what in the world is going on here. Was it, the mods I have all loaded that's causing the problem? I'm going to say I doubt it, because now it is possible that a particular mod that I have might be changing something about the slums in Cydonia, but if it is, I know nothing about it. I don't know of any mod that really keys in and is doing anything there. So could it have been they just never checked to see what was going on? I don't know if anybody has, gotten it to work, but I think the key is really choosing the location, the starting location, as the slums down in Cydonia. Because if we start right out on the pad, it worked. It's only when we decided we were going to go in the slums and it did not work for us. And that was unfortunate. So, we decided to go down on Ebside. That worked. We decided to start in Hopetown. That works. Aquila. That works. Starting in Jameson. That works. So, yeah. And then we can change up the ship and everything. So I was concerned about that. But again, my premise or my assumptions around that is it should work, because we already have the artifact and we already have the quest line, one small step, ready to go. So we are at that point in the quest line that we need to go to the lodge. So we are, so that's ready to go for us. So yeah, do I like this mod better? No. Then Rios, roll your own start. No, because I like roll your own start. I like the premise behind that one a lot better. And because for me, it checks all the boxes I want. With roll your own start, you are basically doing the same thing you're doing here. The choices are kind of different. It's not as broad and, everything. But with roll your own start, you can choose your starting location. You can choose scenarios, pedestrian start, or a ship owner start. Ship owner start is basically similar to this one here, where you can say, okay, I want to start, I own my own ship. This is the ship I have, and I want to start here, right? And then you have a pedestrian start, which is the ones that I enjoy and like the most, where now you're starting, but you don't necessarily have your ship. You can choose your ship, and you do own one, but now there's something going on. You're either there's a lien against your ship and you have to pay it off, or your ship needs a significant amount of repairs, and that is pricey, and you have to pay that off. But you see how you have to do all this before you can take command of your ship and go forward. So now the pedestrian start, you're starting with whatever money in your pocket, and you got to go out and earn some money so you can pay off your ship. And to me, that is just awesome, right? But then, even though you're doing that, the idea is there's a slate. You're given a slate. The slate has a news article that says Argos is hiring. So at any point when you are ready, so basically I can earn enough money, pay off my ship, take possession of my ship, go to New Atlantis, join the UC, go through the UC faction quest, decide, hey, I'm going to Aquila, right? Because during the UC faction quest, I believe, don't hold me to this, because I know during, say you decide during the Ryujin faction quest, you have to go to Aquila City. And while you're every time you go into Aquila, the very first thing that happens is the hold up, and that gives you the opportunity to do that. And then you can go through the Freestar Collective range, the Freestar Rangers quest line. And then in doing the UC quest line, you get a mission that allows you to go undercover in the Crimson Fleet. So allowing you to do the Crimson Fleet quest line. So it's up to you, right? You can do any one of those first. And then once you've completed that, you can say, oh man, I've been through a lot. You know what? I just want a simple job, man. Just put a cutter in my hand. Let me go mine for a while, and then, Argos is hiring. All right. I'm going to go out here. I just want to disappear for a little bit. I just want to be part of a crew. We're just going to out some remote area, it's part of space, and we're just going to do a little mining. And then all of a sudden, boom, you come across this little strange piece of metal sticking out of the rock there, and you're like, uh-oh. And now you're thrown into the Constellation quest line just like that. And to me, that is the better option of all this. And it's more, how do you say? It flows better too, right? Because the role playing of that flows a lot better, and the immersion of it flows way better because, you know what I mean? You're not just, right now, this character we have in our inventory, the artifact. Where did it come from? What are we doing with it? Who are these lodge people? Who are these people at the lodge that I got to go see? You see what I mean? You're given a strange piece of metal, and you're told to go take this to these people there. Granted, that's fine, right? But how far is your immersion here? How deep are you invested in this? And then what's crazy to me is you could be a level 80 character mining, and all of a sudden, boom, you're stuck with this hunk of metal, and Barrett's sitting there telling you, hey, take my ship, go to the lodge. And you're like, now that is the only problem that I see there, because the ship that he's going to give you probably at that point, if you've decided not to go do it until level 60, level 80, the ship you got is going to far outclass the one that he's going to give you. And so it's like, dude, I don't need to take your ship. I got here on my own. So, I mean, potentially I would, or, for the sake of it, that one's harder to get around because, that's the way the story is written. The story is written, you're in the mine, and then now you got to take that ship and the robot and the artifact, and you got to get back to Constellation with it. So, but I'm more, like I said, I'm better with that than with this, right? And so, no, I mean, so roll your own start for me is better. Now, there's another mod called Random Access Memories. I believe that's what it's called. That's another alternate start mod. And I think look at this. The chameleon is on our clothing. So, I'm gonna test that one out a little bit, but that one's actually pretty straightforward. And really what it is you can basically pick a planet, or you'll be put into a random system. You have to be careful though, because you're not going to be very high level, and you could be in a spot where there's a lot of high level folks around you wanting to kill you. And then the key is you got to find the artifact and the ship key. And then once you find the key and the artifact, then everything opens up and you are directed to take that artifact to Constellation. So it's a different type of start, but it still falls in line kind of with this one, without all the choices of how you're starting. In my opinion, roll your own start is the only one that just puts you somewhere, gives you some scenarios, and then allows you to say, pick your path, and then pick your moment when it's time to go see Constellation. When it's time to get started on the main quest line for Starfield. So it's cool, because you remember, like, even the alternate start mods for Fallout and for Skyrim, particularly Fallout, they all, either they start you out in the wasteland, and then give you the choice that you're not even going to be a soul, not a soul, but a vault dweller. And to me, I always thought that was weird, not to be, to take that choice, that option away, just because at that point, what are you playing for? You know what I mean? Whose kid are you looking for if it's not your own? And you go through a lot to go find this kid. So whose kid is this? You know what I mean? What's your investment here, right? Well, what is your involvement? Why do you care so much? So, and it doesn't change all, and I don't know that it changes all the lines going down. So at some point, the line's going to say it's your kid, whether or not it is. And I'm like, well, that just breaks all immersion right there. So the alternate stars that just allow you to create your character and then throw you into the vault, to me are, that's fine, because you're still starting the way you should. Skyrim alternate starts, those are interesting, but like Unbound is like, why would you not want to be the Dragonborn? Because isn't that the whole premise of the game, right? The main piece of the game, the main underlying quest line in the game is the Dragonborn quest. So what are we doing if we're not doing that? And so, yeah, you're humming? Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. So there you have it. All right, guys. Well, I think I've given a lot for you guys to comment on and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you agree. Tell me you're thinking the same way. Like I said, Rios is the best of the alternate start mods for Starfield so far. And that's kind of how I prefer to play. Okay, guys. We'll see you next time. Be good. Bye.